To our distance style passing lesson. Okay, for the introduction, we're just gonna kind of go over the passing system, all right, and what we're gonna see in the later lessons. But at the beginning, all right, you might find yourself against an opponent who's sitting up instead. Okay, so our first goal is to get them onto their back. It's a little bit easier to get around. Okay, right now, if I start to engage, and tomorrow she might be able to like grab wrists, pull me in, and get access to my legs. Okay, and we never want that when we're doing loose passing. We want to have our legs really far away and just kind of move side to side. Okay, and you can see if I start moving around like this, you can follow me pretty easily. Okay, and it doesn't take much guard work for her to do. She just has to keep those legs in close. So instead, we try to put them into their back. Okay. There's a couple ways. The main way, usually people play around with grips or mess with people's heads or flicks their arm up just to get to this double ankle, like scoop grip. And we pull the person backwards and we just put them on their back afterwards, right? And then we can start going into our system, okay? Again, you can use movement where you're moving side to side, messing with them, and then finding that window to just put them onto their back, all right? Now, there's a common counter that most kind of high level grapplers know, where they basically put both of their hands on the floor to stop you from flicking them up, okay? So it's really important that you also pull them when you do this, okay? So right now, if I just try to flick our legs up, it's not gonna work. But if I pull, I can break a base and then come back, sorry. All right, so that's our little scoop scenario, okay? Another kind of strategy is a push, kind of a shove, okay? Which is where we just focus on one ankle instead, and we give the person a push. That could be on their shoulder, on their forehead, anything to just get them onto their backs. A little bit more aggressive, but you're just moving around like this, and you just kind of like push them over. If they're not ready for it, you often get them into their back, right? And then another way is we have like this inverted like a grip that we can get just upside down. And we can try to use that to flick the person over. Often we can use a head grip on this and just kind of like move them over to the side. They'll regard, but it's another common way people do it as well. Okay, you can go this way as well and just try to scoop and then go around and then force them onto their back. But you see the other two are more kind of popular in a high-level competition, right? So again, our passing only starts really when we're able to get the person onto their back for loose passing, okay? There are other kind of like high-risk moves like cartwheels and jump overs, okay, where you literally do a flashy jump over the top of the person, and you're either going to end up in north-south, or they're gonna have to go upside down and then force them like that, and then force them into their back, okay? So if you're quite brave and athletic, that's another option as well, right? So that will start you off in a good position. So we managed to get Tamara here onto her back now. Now we're just gonna go over the terminology of names and grips, okay? Because it does help knowing each specific grip and what they do, okay? We have a kind of C grips, okay, which are quite versatile. You can start off from the shin all the way up here or even down there, okay? Sometimes we use the C grip as with a little elbow flare to get foots across. You'll see this in the leg drag passes later on. Sometimes we're able to use it on the top of the kneecaps like this to push and open up that space. We'll see it for a lot of other passes as well, okay? So that's the function of C grips. They usually work just kind of like sliding up and down. We never get too attached to grips because often people will suck and then grab our wrist and then we're giving them a free wrist. So we often just doing these grips and kind of moving around and just finding the right timing to go for the specific pass, okay? We have toe grabs. Toe grabs are like where we grab around people's toes like this just to stop them from pummeling, especially when we have C grips. It's easy for Tamara to pummel her foot in and get access to us, and now we can't really go around. We have to back away to disengage, okay? But with the toe grabs, she can't really pummel out of it. Okay, so it's a good entry point to things like double unders with pressure pass or a quick drag to the side, right? So we're gonna use all of those grips together to kind of create scenarios to get to a pass, all right? So that's toe grabs. We have 2-on-1, okay, which starts off with an inverted C grip, okay? So awkward grip because you have to like go around the foot. So you have to create an angle first, and then the other hand is just a C grip. This one is really great at pinning legs, okay? So I can really pin Tamara's leg and put all my weight on it. And then I can start moving on to, again, I can start moving around this way, I can go this way, I can go under her legs, or we'll see another position which we call an elbow frame, which is just here, okay, where I'm trying to stop. The main function of an elbow frame is to stop a high leg, okay, which is Tamara being able to throw that leg on my shoulders and then replace her guard. If we get our shoulder in and we kind of flare that elbow and we stop that from happening, we often get passes like the X pass and other variations from there as well, all right? So that's our elbow frame grip. This is our 2-on-1 control, right? And they often work in combination. The last grip is this variation, but on the far leg, which again we call it inverted C grips. They're often used to disengage from sticky situations like reverse de la Riva, where she's got me completely locked in and I need to find a way to get out of here, okay? And usually people settle for this grip, which allows, there's a little gap here and people can break really easy by extending the legs. So the inverted grip allows us to get a better grip at the leg, and you're able to hold on a little bit longer with the grip while we try to get out of the situation. Might be that we straighten our leg, or we'll see later on we just pull on the head and we just disengage again, okay? We also use these inverted C grips on north-south, okay? Where my partner, it's a little bit easier for me to control the legs with those inverted C grips and push her away to finish the pass, okay? We often start with an elbow frame, then we might move on to those C grips and then push in and get underneath, okay? So just recognizing those little signs and grips makes a big difference, okay? If you know how they work and etc. And later on, we're also gonna talk about kind of like disengagement, which is, again, for the theory of this lesson, we're constantly passing side to side. Tamara is recovering. We're trying to like find an opening to get a situation. And sometimes we might just get a good guard player and we just might get tangled up, okay? And there's usually two strategies here, okay? We can go into pressure situations where we're really closing in and accepting that Tamara has trapped us, or we can disengage, which is again the theory of loose passing, okay? So we're gonna see loads of ways to get out of those sticky situations and then go back to those distance passing to try to fatigue our partner or find another opening for a pass, okay? But again, we'll take a look at it later on in the lesson, all right?